Hello friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch, Hip Cats Groovy Chicks. This is a beginner lesson on how to play 2-5-1s through the cycle of fifths. So I hope this will be useful for you if you're beginner level, and you will learn this important exercise and drill as a basis for understanding how harmony works and how to improvise and understanding the importance of the cycle of fifths in music. So here we go now with a lesson on the cycle of fifths and 2-5-1s. Welcome to the Jazz Ranch studio. I'm going to talk about the concept of 2-5-1s. You're going to learn a couple of drills here. I've got 4 drills for you that use the cycle of fifths and 2-5-1s. Now you want to look at the diagram of the cycle of fifths to understand that first. Now after you understand how the diagram works, what note moves to what note in the cycle, in other words, C moves to F, C7 resolves to F, F7 resolves to B flat, and so on around the circle counterclockwise. You can see it on the piano in this manner. C moves to F, F moves to B flat moves to E flat. So we're going up in fourths. Those are intervals of fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we take the F scale, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be B flat. We take the B flat scale, and so on, like that. Now if you descend, it's moving in fifths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, so it's moving in fifths. So to simplify it, we're just going to move up a fourth, down a fifth. That way we're not going through the whole keyboard. We just can go from here like this. Up a fourth, down a fifth, 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 up a fourth, down a fifth. So that's the pattern. And you see those notes correspond to the circle of fifths. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, or F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C. And you notice there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're back to 1. So there's 12 tones in the scale, chromatic scale. There's 12 tones in music, 12 months of the year, 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night. Many things are 12. It's a cosmic number, and there you have it. So in the cycle of fifths. So first exercise is to just play those notes, but add 2 notes to make it a chord. So I have a 3-note chord. Now we could take root, we already have the root, so we could take the 3rd and the 5th, but more interesting is to take the 7th and what would be the dominant 7th or the flat 7th or the minor 7th. And it creates a dominant 7th which wants to move. It's a tension chord because it has a tritone interval in it, which is 3 whole steps, and also the 5th lowered. It's very unstable. It wants to resolve. It wants to, that C7 wants to go to F by moving in like that, resolving like that, or resolving like this. So we'll use the dominant 7ths, but the interesting thing in this exercise now is that the right hand is just going to move down chromatically, and I'll show you how that works. Root, major 3rd, flat 7 or minor 7. Then you just move chromatically now and move to the up to the F in the left hand. Move down chromatically, half steps in the right hand. Now what it reverses in this sense. This is root 3rd, flat 7. Root, flat 7, 3rd. You see they're reversing, but you're just moving down chromatically. 3rd, flat 7, flat 7, 3rd, and so it goes. resolving. But you see, it's kind of like magic in a way. There's your whole cycle of fifths in dominant sevenths. Or you could resolve it to C major if you wanted to. But you see, you can do break them. So that's your first exercise, and that's a really good one, and it's interesting, and it gives you a concept of how the cycle of fifths is working when you have dominant sevenths. Dominant sevenths want to resolve, so you're resolving to the next dominant seventh, and that wants to resolve to the next one. So it continues the process, and it's just chromatic moves in half steps in the right hand. So that's interesting. Now I want to give you the first exercise in the 2-5-1s. Now, this is simple because it's just two notes in the right hand and the root in the left hand. So the two notes that are important are the third and the seventh again. So in the 2-5-1, you're going to have a minor seventh moving to a dominant seventh, resolving to a major seventh in this manner. When we use the system of scale tone sevenths, or even of triads, if the 2 chord is going to be minor, the 5 chord is going to be major, and the 1 chord is going to be major. But when we add the sevenths, the 2 chord becomes a minor seventh, the 5 chord becomes the dominant seventh. It has that tritone interval in it, and the 1 chord becomes a major seventh. Now, just accept that for now, but that's what they are if you define them. Minor 7, dominant 7, major 7. So, to play this in a very simple way is we'll just play the root in the left hand, the minor third in the right hand, and then we'll add the seventh there. So we'll have root, dominant 7 or minor 7, flat 7, minor third there. So here's the move in the left hand. We already know what the move is. It's 1, up a 4th, down a 5th, right? Up a 4th, down a 5th. That gives you the 2-5-1. 2-5-1. So now the right hand is just going to do this. Move down a half step on the bottom note, then move the top note down a half step. And that's it. There's your 2-5-1 pattern. And that's going to work throughout the whole system. That's as easy as it gets for the 2-5-1. You can put it down an octave. If you like the sound of that, you can put the left hand down an octave. But there it is. Root 7, flat a minor 3. Root third, flat 7. Now you have root 7, it's major 7 now, and 3. So you have minor 7, dominant 7, major 7. Now to get to the next one, we're not going to go through like, do C, then go to F. We're going to go down in whole steps. So we're going to go 2-5-1, and then stay on that note, and then go down another 2-5-1. That's a more interesting way to do it, I think. You can do it either way, but this way is the way I'm going to show you. Then this becomes minor by moving down a half step. So we're moving both notes down a half step, and then the same pattern again. You can read these, or you can just figure it out by the pattern. Moving it down, moving this down now, moving it down. Now notice we're going. We're going on this whole tone scale. So there's another whole tone scale. I'm not going to play that. You can read it off the score when you download it from my website. You want to learn both whole tone scales to have the whole complete set of 2-5-1s. There's going to be 2 sets, because you only really did the six resolutions, You did, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. You did 6, so you got to have 12. So then you go up a half step, you know, going up a half. Hope I didn't lose you with that, but you got to have 12 2-5-1s to get all together here. So that's the first exercise with 2-5-1s that's simple. So now you can just reverse that position. Instead of this position, just change the intervals so that the 7th is on the bottom here and the 3rd is on the top. So you have this. Now this time it's going to go like that. You see, so that one's going to move down and this one's going to move down. So there it is. And then you move these two down parallel the same way, chromatically. Then parallel down a half step. Now, you can learn these by feel, by sound, but it's good to know what you're playing. In other words, to really understand what you're playing. That you're playing a root, a minor third, a flat 7, and then here you're playing a root, a flat 7, and a third, and then here you're playing a root, a third, and a major 7. See how nice it sounds because it's logical. It's the way harmony works. It's the way things work around the cycle of fifths. So there's 2 exercises. Now I'm going to leave you with this last one, which is going to put 2 notes in both hands. So to get the 2 notes in the left hand, it's best to start by just practicing the left hand separately. So we're going to add the 7th to the left hand and then move it up the 4th. Move this one down so you have the root and the 3rd on the G, and then retain that and move that one down. So you'd have this one moves down half step, this one moves up a 4th, then this one moves down a 5th, and that stays. So there's the pattern. Then to get to the next one, you just, you want a minor 7th interval to start. So that's a minor 7th interval. This is a major 3rd. This is a major 7th interval. So now you want a minor 7th interval, a 3rd, major 3rd, and then a major 7th interval. So then it continues. So that's the left hand. You want to practice the left hand separately. Sorry. So there it is, and then the next step would be you see there's the 2 sets. So now in the right hand you have root and 7th, so you're not going to double either of those notes, but you obviously need the 3rd because you don't have it there. Get my pedal straightened out. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do that one. Now when I go to the G, I can either do that or I can just stay on those 2 notes and I get a G9. You see I have the root 3rd, flat 7, and I have the 9th. So why not add the color tone there? Here you have root 7th, 3rd, 5th, that's minor 3rd, 5th. So if you keep the same 2 notes, you have root 3rd, 7th, flat 7, 9, and then you just move these down to get the C major. You have root 7th, major 7, major 3rd, and 5th. So I like that one. You could do other ones. You could do, but I'm keeping it simple. 2 notes in each hand, and you could do that if you like. But I'm gonna keep that 9th in there. It's a pretty sound. So you see, there's a nice exercise. actually there's some things you can do with this exercise to make it more interesting. And then the other thing you can do, start doing once you learn that left hand configuration, is to play maybe a melody on it, like. Or make up different melodies. This is a little more advanced, but it just gives you something that you can think about working towards. But you want to get these drills down and understand what you're playing and understand what's happening and how the importance of it is in eventually using them in tunes and improvisation. And this is some basic stuff you want to learn about keyboards, about playing a keyboard and playing music. You want to learn your 2-5-1s in a simple way and then learn them eventually more complicated ways, like you're going to get to that, you know, but you want to start with the easy ones. All right, so I hope you learned something. I hope this was useful to you. Definitely you have to download the sheet and practice from the sheet. But also, if you learn the concepts and you can visualize it and in your ear, then you're going to learn it better than just working with the music. So you want to do both. Use both. Okay, we'll sign off now. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please leave a comment. I love to hear from you, and I always respond to all comments if you give me enough time. And I wanted to tell you that I have my book on sale during the holidays. This is called Jazz Piano, Methods and Songbook for Professional Playing. Please check it out. I have a video I made on this book, so you can watch from the link below. Also, if you buy this book, you'll get the appendix for free. They're both on sale during the holidays. This is 140 pages of exercises and drills to develop skills as a jazz pianist. So please watch the videos in the links below. Also, I wanted to tell you about Summerkeys, where I teach in the summer. You can study privately with me, and it's a beautiful camp up in Maine. So check out the link below for Summerkeys. And until next time, I'll say in the words of my friend Hermie Dressel upstairs, swing loose. We'll see you next time around. Bye-bye.